And we're live. And now from our Orlando studio, here's your host, Cameron Strang.
It's Tuesday, February 19th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Like they said, that's new. I'm your host, Cameron Strang. Here with me in our Orlando studio on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
Over there, running the video stuff, Clark Flippo. Say hi, Clark. You have a mic, right?
Yep.
Hey, what's up?
There you go. On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
All the way from Gatorland, Florida, Eddie Big Cat Koffolds.
Bless you. Bless you all.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie Fidowns.
Good morning, gents.
Annie
We're
F.
live.
Downs. We are live. Hey, tune in. If you're watching on Facebook, we're watching the comments. You can comment as we go. Little behind the scenes. This will be a little bit of a shorter episode, just a little bit of a shorter one, but not predictive of future ones. Normal length moving forward. And next week, we're going to be streaming live on multiple platforms, not just Facebook. We'll be on Periscope. We'll be live at YouTube. LinkedIn.
Google Plus.
Yeah. R.I.P.
What could
Google
possibly
Plus.
go wrong?
And,
We're going to be everywhere.
and we'll be able to watch all the comments from everything in one big funnel. It's going to be a lot of fun. I like the interactive
cool.
stuff.
It's going to be
A lot
very
of
professional on
feedback.
LinkedIn. I'll tell you that. Very professional LinkedIn.
Very professional.
What is
A
the
lot
Professional
of
as it
tips.
gets.
A lot of tips about getting leads.
yeah? What is the
Things.
what is the point of
Contact
LinkedIn?
leads.
I like for real. Like I just had to sign up
Networking.
not long ago. Networking about what? What do you do?
It's, it's a lot of networking, a lot of TCB, a lot of ROI, a lot of SEO. If you don't know what those
People
things
that are getting
are,
jobs.
then maybe
Yeah,
use
it's
it
people
as
that are
a-
getting jobs. I'm on there. I think it's important. It's how you grow into different areas because you can find.
GOBs. Cameron.
It's just
GOBs.
electronic resume. It's just like electronic resume. Like that's all it is.
So
It
it's
is not
monster.com, but you can like connect with other people who have the resumes
Yeah,
up.
that's it. It's just like searchable. So if you're searching
Yeah.
for somebody that does like I don't know whatever job like
Yes.
accounting, it's a quick way to
A lot of
network your friends.
I
and-
literally
Cameron, I'll
was just
say
saying
this.
to your friend, this is what I want to do this thing, and she sent me 2 links on LinkedIn of like connect with these people because that's what they do. And I went to their LinkedIn site and connected with them.
the best way I can describe it is a lot of this, a lot of that. Little
Yeah.
here, little there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because
No,
if
I
you want your
don't.
calls
Fish.
answered and you want to
It's a
land
fish.
the next big one, that's what
Yeah.
you use
You're-
as
if you-
LinkedIn.
let me say this, Cameron.
Yeah.
I don't mean to talk in platitudes, but I feel like I'm being pretty clear. You want to land the big fish. If you do, jump
you
in the big pond.
talking about?
Link down.
I post all my
very clear.
bizjournal.biz articles to it.
That's right.
There you go.
So it's a great place.
Well, we have a great show coming up for you later.
Disruptive.
I mentioned last week on the podcast that the Tuesday live show is going to have a little bit of a different flair than the Friday show. So it's kind of like the difference between Facebook and LinkedIn. You know, so the Tuesday show interacting, we're watching the comments. It's a little more free flowing. You can obviously follow along the video stream and all that. The segment though coming up later is going to be something from the magazine. So it might be, Tori Kelly joining us because she's on the cover of the issue. It might be us bringing on the author of one of the think pieces. And so coming up later today, this is right in Jesse and Annie's wheelhouse. The current issue of Relevant has a think piece about how young Christians disproportionately fall prey to conspiracy theories. We have this unbelievable data. We have all these people.
Oh, my
And we are
gosh.
going to talk about Christians and conspiracy theories coming up later on the show today.
I'm so
And
happy.
I will say this for my LinkedIn pod. The topic today is disruptive market integration. We're not going to want to miss it. It is very professional.
And I don't want to say I know that there's been a lot of talk about this between that there's a competition between the Friday show and the Tuesday show.
Right.
And I think the main difference between the two shows too is you've got Tyler or me. And
Wait, I haven't heard any competition
None.
between the two shows. Is
Zero.
it
There's
just
just been-
you, Eddie?
so but basically just to follow up to the people that are commenting
And I
on
can say
And
that
no
on
one's
Facebook.
commenting that.
Yeah.
And-
Everyone
and-
listens to both.
And
Well,
I'll
but
say
they
this.
listen to Tyler or
Hold on.
me.
You probably haven't seen it. You probably
You're
haven't
right.
seen
Tyler
Annie.
doesn't have a ring light. Good point.
Listen,
Yeah,
you,
that's a good point.
you probably
Oh,
didn't see it.
Annie's ripping on me now. I hope we get comments. Go ahead.
Andy, the reason you haven't seen it because Eddie has been trashing Tyler on LinkedIn all over the LinkedIn.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
luck working in this town again, Huckabee.
The other fun thing about Tuesday is normally, a little behind the scenes, we have to record earlier in the week, and so we have to pretend like it's the day of the podcast coming out. But things happen between when we record and when it comes out, and we're not able always, to have a timely discussion. But by doing it live on Tuesdays, we can be timely about what happened last night.
This morning. What'd you have for breakfast?
No,
What'd you have for breakfast, Cameron?
Still have my breakfast right here.
Oh, timely.
Peanut
But-
butter pretzel.
But like on Monday night, it's a big night for Annie Fidowns. The Bachelor's
big night for
airing on
us.
Monday nights. What are you following along, Annie?
I am. I like this episode. I like it fine. I like Colton.
Okay,
think
I was
it's
just
nice
wondering.
to-
I actually tuned in last night. I haven't really been watching, but I caught up last night. I was wondering what
Yeah.
you thought about the season and all
Yeah,
the.
the girls are spending a lot of time talking about each other more than talking to Colton.
I have a question. I have a question about The Bachelor. I
Okay.
haven't watched it, but I
probably-
saw trending on Twitter, and I actually saw a
Oh.
clip the other night. I was watching basketball or
what
something,
you're
and they
gonna
showed
say.
a Bachelor clip, and it was Colton, who
Jumping
evidently is
over
the Bachelor, and he's jumping over this fence and
Over a
running
fence.
away and
Yep.
running away.
Did
And
that
people-
happen already?
And there's like
No.
Oh.
there's like shaky camera of
Yes.
like an episode of Cops Are Live PD. Like
I know.
Colton's bird dogging. Colton's bird dogging.
They have shown us that every week since week 1, Jesse, and we still don't know why he jumps over the fence.
It's because sometimes it's really hard there. Sometimes it's just you got to get away. What's the big
I don't know
deal?
where the fence is. It's one of the most interesting, hilarious things to watch on Twitter every Monday night because everyone tries to figure out if Colton has on the outfit that we have seen when he jumps over the fence. And so far, he has not had on the outfit. And then you go, oh my gosh, another episode where Colton doesn't jump over the fence. I tweeted about it last night about how frustrating it is that Colton didn't jump over the fence.
Last night, Kiki, one of our listeners who interacts with us on Twitter a lot, tweeted me and said, all caps, Cassie was on a Christian dating docuseries. This is the hard-hitting reporting I need from Relevant. Did you know about this, Annie?
No.
Cassie, the blonde.
Yeah,
so-
you don't have to tell me who Cassie
Well, see,
is.
I didn't.
love
I didn't know. I had. So the Bachelor's Cassie stars in another reality series, and it's So it's a Christian
Is
dating
it the-
series.
Yeah, was it the Natalie Grant show? The
No.
church setting
So
up a
it's
church
an
show?
online Christian dating docuseries called Young Ones. And it's airing its second season right now throughout February and March in tandem with weekly episodes of The Bachelor,
How
and
did I
she's
not know
on it
that?
too. So it's set in Southern California, and Young Ones follows a group of young Christians, including Cassie and her now ex-boyfriend, Kaylin Diongson, as they face love, friendships, and career decisions while navigating the way faith plays a role in their daily lives.
Are they? There's the stars, the two of them.
I think there's other couples as well, but the first season was released back in 2016, and it follows the group as they attend Biola University, a private Christian school that encourages students to not drink or do drugs or have sex. So there's 8 episodes on season 1, and most of them touch on Cassie and her former boyfriend's on-again, off-again relationship. And then now the second season was filmed last summer, and they're airing it online.
And Cassie's on it again.
Uh-huh.
Have we run
what-
out of reality stars? Are there just no more Americans
I
left?
think it
that
has
could-
less to do. I think it has less to do with how many people and more to do with the type of people who want to be on the shows.
I
They
have
tend
a
to
que-
repeat.
I have
What
a question.
do you mean by that?
What network is this Christian reality show on?
It
And what
says,
is it affiliated
it
with?
says an online docuseries. You can probably just Google it. Young Ones is what
That
it's
sounds
called.
sketchy. I'm always a little reserved about online docuseries.
Well, I mean, can you imagine the casting call? Like, I'm doing an online series. I want you to come. I want to film you dating. I mean, it's like,
Listen, you're probably, if you're on this site, it's because of my provocative Craigslist ad. Now, if you came from LinkedIn, there's the
I'm
door.
so surprised Biola would be behind that, and they'd have to be behind it to some degree for it to be all their students and filmed on their campus. That feels
Maybe
like
they just went guerrilla.
a weird
They just
turn
filmed
for-
it there. Yeah.
oh no,
maybe.
it's way easier to just film stuff and not ask permission. Trust me.
Cassie. Okay, well, we should get her on the show then.
Well, I mean, last
We
night
really should.
last night was dripping with Christians because the Ben Higgins made a
Ugh.
cameo,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yes.
Oh, Ben Higgy. He's a
Yeah.
nice man.
I know. He was
Annie's
great
been-
on your. Annie
Yeah.
has been. You say it, Jesse. Say it.
Yeah,
Well-
he was on New Activist, and now Annie is trying
Oh.
to get him
That
on
sounds fun.
your
Yes, I
show.
am.
And now we just found out that he is no longer technically a bachelor, right?
No, he's still a bachelor.
Eddie
He's just
said. I have
dating.
no
He's
idea.
just dating. Who cares?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
Brienne-
on Bachelor Nation, and I follow all their stuff. And there's just a
Listen,
lot
I've been
of
on the
rumors
bachelor
flying.
boards. I've been on the bachelor boards on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
And,
I've never
it's-
seen the show, but I really enjoy
You
the
know,
boards.
Bachelor Nation, which is a lot to say. It's
Yeah.
a lot to say to
The
you.
only
That's-
nation
that's
I'm
real
involved-
inside lingo.
I'm really into chat rooms and always have been. So, ooh.
Brienne
Everyone
Blanchard.
believes you. That's the thing right now. Everyone
right.
believes you.
Following along, Brienne Blanchard, one of the commenters on the Facebook stream, confirms the show is through Biola.
Wow. Thanks,
Wow.
man.
Also,
It's also-
Brandon Smith said, "Dripping with Christians is the new slogan for Christian Mingle." So there you go. Dripping with
Also,
Christians.
Tyler Huckabee is watching. So apparently someone needed to go to school. Welcome, Tyler.
All right, well, moving the show along, we have more of a succinct format this week. So moving the show along, it is time for
Slices.
Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right, I have one that's a little controversial that I'm interested in your guys' opinion on, and it takes place right there in the great state of Florida, that brings us so many great internet stories. I mean, there should be Florida should have its own internet, and you can just navigate there, and it's all the good stuff that you want to find on the internet because Florida just produces it. It's across the spectrum. It's like weird news, it's like animal news, and now it's
Florida.
like. Yeah, it's an interesting political news because there is a bill that Florida lawmakers have proposed, and here's what it requires: that each school district offer elective courses with Bible and Christianity as their sole focus. So if this gets passed, it would be required in Florida public schools that an elective course on Christianity be taught in the school system.
But not required because it's an elective for the students. But it would be
It
required
would
that
be
the school
required to be
provides it.
offered.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
required to be offered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the bill's sponsors, her name is Mel Ponder, said the Bible. Here's her explanation for it. The Bible has played in our nation's history as such a significant role in how the nation was formed. It's a part of our historical framework. Some of the principles of the Bible helped frame our Constitution. It was the standard. Another of the co-sponsors of the bill, Kimberly Daniels, a representative, she's the one who was involved in legislation that instructed Florida public schools to display the words, "In God we trust," on schools. So now that's a law down there, too. So an elective that requires schools to offer classes, public schools, in Bible and Christianity. I'm interested to know, this is a controversial topic. I have my own opinions about it, but around the table, I'm looking at your looks. What do you guys think about this proposed law in Florida?
Did y'all read Jonathan Merritt wrote a piece about this, about requiring Bible in public
No.
schools? It's a great piece. You should read it. But one of the things he says is Christians actually won't like this because it's not like the spiritual side of the Bible is going to be taught. It's going to be taught as a textbook. And so we think it sounds awesome, but it's actually not going to be taught. It's going to be taught historically in a way that will also not make Christians happy. So
Right. It's
no
not
one's
like
gonna be
there's
happy.
going to be like a flannel graph up there and we're like going through.
Maybe.
That would be amazing, actually.
But a preacher's not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a historical text, and the spiritual side of it cannot be removed, but will not be taught.
Yeah.
And so it was a great piece. Yeah.
Well,
I've been
probably
thinking
a
about
lot
it
of probably a lot of the people that are teaching it, just statistically wouldn't be professing Christians, and so would have no motive to kind of show things like
Right.
apparent historical discrepancies in the Bible, or
Right.
what some people would perceive as like contradictions. So yeah, I could really see it going south. Eddie, you live in the state there, and you have a very interesting look on your face. What do you think of this legislation?
Well, first of all, of course, I mean, Florida is bananas. So of course this would be. I'm not at all surprised that this is a part of like what's happening in the Florida
Sure.
legislature. I think what bothers me, what kind of hit me the most, is the is it's required to be taught or required to be an elective. Because if it was like, okay, it's part of a complement of all kinds of electives that you can
World
take.
religions, yeah.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting, and I would love to see. I mean, I'd love to see my own kids be able to understand world religions, and love for them to be able to study the Bible as a textbook in school. But it's the fact that it's required just makes me feel. And I don't have an articulate way to say this.
No. It's
Required
That's
to
a
be an
problem?
elective.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, would you have a problem if it was required? I don't know why that's a problem.
The kids can choose to not take it. It's just the school has to offer it.
Right, but then the school doesn't also have to offer, like, why doesn't the school also have to offer, like, a study of the Quran?
Yeah.
Why doesn't the school, like, it's the fact that the school has to make it available feels gross to me.
Well, that's probably just the start of that situation happening where they do have to offer the study of the Quran. They do have to offer the
I
study of
would
the
say
Talmud.
that would not happen.
Yeah,
I would
don't think
bet
that would
you.
happen either.
I don't know. I've never lived in Florida on purpose, but
I
it
mean,
may happen.
I mean, this isn't just in Florida. I mean, the president tweeted, in the last week and a half or so that he thinks that Bible should be taught back in schools. Like, the conversation isn't around world religions. The conversation isn't should we, look at Buddhist text or the Quran. It is exclusively about the Bible, which I think that's what kind of makes this problematic, because it seems to favor one religion over the other, and framing it as if it's this part of American history that you can't learn American history without knowing the historical context of the Bible, which obviously a lot of the people who first settled the country were Christians and came for religious reasons, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the Bible itself has to be taught to understand that context.
The comments on the live feed are
Oh,
heated.
I'm sure they're all really, really
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Merritt posted his article in the Atlantic. I have a LinkedIn rant that got some heat from the higher ups.
Got you banned for 2 months, but
I got a hard ban. They found my burner accounts. And LinkedIn, I'm persona non grata on LinkedIn anymore. So if you wanted to hear the rest of my take, I would say go there. But I featured it in a conveniently listed Craigslist ad for an internet reality show. Click at your own risk. That's the name of the show.
you have
Click at your own risk.
Jesse has several Finsta accounts. He also has a FinkedIn account where he can really let loose.
LinkedIn. Well done,
Let loose.
Cameron.
All right, what do you have, Annie?
Well, very important. I mean, I feel like this probably rivals what Jesse brought to the table, but there is a new yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what it is, and that's why I'm getting so much enjoyment out of it, because this is as significant as what's happening in our country right now is what you're about to tell us.
Jesse looks like Magnum PI kind of right now, except for the shirt.
Oh,
But
he's got the Selleck.
Except for the shirt.
Dude, I one day wore this with a more floral pattern shirt. Like, this is not a Detroit Tigers hat, but it's sort of an homage to it. And somebody was like, "Dude, you look like Magnum PI today," and I take that as the highest compliment.
He's like
The
gently. It's more of an homage than it is an impersonation.
What
but
you can't
there's
see-
definitely a movement.
What
towards
you can't see in the live feed is he's wearing very, very short white shorts.
that. Oh, they're-
That's right.
They
And
are. And I don't want to describe them in detail, but
Right.
they are shocking.
Shocking.
And I will say this: I recorded half of this from the front seat of a Pontiac Grand Am, and the other hanging off the side of a helicopter over Hawaii. So
A
it
really
is
cool helicopter with like a little
the
bubble glass.
entirety of Hawaii.
Yeah, he's just kind of looping it. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right,
we're just doing a loop. We're just doing a pod loop, is what I call it.
pod loop. All right, what do you have,
right,
Annie?
right over the
Annie.
headquarters of LinkedIn down there. Yeah.
First of all, Annie, I'm so sorry I interrupted. I really value you and love to hear your slice now.
It's hard to take you serious when we can see your ring light reflection in your glasses.
Like, second burn.
A little two
This face doesn't. This face doesn't light itself.
And when he says burn, he actually means his
Means
retinas,
he's-
because
Oh,
it's
it's
burning
hurting me.
through the lens. Okay.
You guys are all effervescent and just glow. I have to create light for
No,
my
I did
darkest.
create this. There's situations on the other side of this. It's just
Yeah.
not a ring light in my glasses.
Yeah, it's just you guys want the Bible in schools, and I'd prefer to keep it out. And so I'm pretty dark.
Looking at it, one elephant, just looking at a bunch of different sides. Eddie, is that what you're?
All right,
Okay,
Annie, what do you got?
Here's my slice. Did you guys know the University of Arizona just did this research study that I think is going to come in handy for all of us, that they put fruit and cheesecake at the start of the cafeteria line, and the people who picked cheesecake ate 30% fewer calories in their main dish than people who pick fruit. So what I'm saying is you should eat dessert first, which is going to go in handy when we all go to the Peeps Factory coming up in April. But the other thing about this research article that I found interesting, where they say, like, yes, you should eat dessert first because then you will eat less calories in your main meal. The interesting part is they only involved 134 participants. Feels like a small number to make
That is-
this a big decision.
And they were all 9-year-old children.
Yeah,
We're
that's-
like, yeah, okay, we're fine.
And
Yeah, we'll
they
eat this.
should have said they're all diabetics as well.
Every
So-
single one of them.
No, but the implication is if you eat or order your dessert first, then then you
Your
eat less.
picked healthier main course.
I've always thought it was weird.
because you're thinking of the balance of it all. Like, I know I want to enjoy that, so I'm going to have a little bit less of this. Whereas if you didn't have that decision made until the end of the line, you're loading up your plate, and then you get, I want that too, but now you've got way more. Interesting that it's like that. I want to splurge tonight, so I'll diet today, sort of a thing. You know, that it's like that mindset of I know what's coming. So it's not that they have to eat it first; they have to select it or
They just have to
decide
pick it.
first.
That's right.
Interesting.
I'm just encouraging you to eat it first. I'm just
Yeah.
being helpful.
But-
I'm
but
just being a helpful friend.
Yeah, I do. Because I've gone to a restaurant where they have like the specials out for dessert, and I'm a big sweets guy. You know, I most
Are
of
ya?
my diet is sugar. Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Oh totally,
Hmm.
totally.
I could do without it. It's
Really?
I like other. Oh
Are
yeah,
you
I
like
really.
the salty chip guy?
Yeah. Not sweet so as much, but you get that. Anyhow, I interrupted. I'm sorry, Jesse.
Either way, I've always thought it's a weird construct. Like who decided we should eat dessert first anyway? Like why not? Why? I mean, it just seems so arbitrary to me. I know it'd be weird, but who cares? Like if I just want to eat, like okay, here's the deal. When I go to Subway or Pita Pit, both those establishments, they make your sandwich, but they give you the cookies that you order with the combo first. I always eat the cookie while they're making my sandwich. And then I tap on the glass, like, come on now, like on the sneeze guard, like, pack it in. I always eat the cookies first. I'm always extremely impatient and unkind.
I think you're the only person I've ever met that goes to Pita Pit, by the way.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Pita Pit. But
Yeah.
I just did not know. Is there one close to your home, I guess?
Oh, of course, there's a Pita Pit by my house.
Yeah, there's
civilization.
I
they've
don't know where one is.
they
in
found
this
their
town.
house through a series of triangulating
Yeah,
pita pits.
I got on this Zillow. I had this Zillow deal with Pita Pit that I shopped to LinkedIn. And it went south quickly, but it's
It's
you
finding
don't know.
the home market in the pita pit market, just
Yeah.
the hottest home. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
smart.
it's these circles around Pita Pits, and they get colder and colder the further
The
outside
public
you get.
schools
No,
are-
but I always eat.
Yeah. The public schools are terrible. The house is in terrible shape. But I mean,
you're
any direction
always
you
less
walk,
than a
you're gonna
mile.
run into a pita.
The
That's
public
right, from a
schools, all
Pita
they
Pit.
teach is Bible classes. It's not going to be helpful for my kids for college.
I don't like what they do at Pita Pit. Everybody at Pita Pit always wants what are those little like little vegetables that are like little strawy little vegetables that are like
Alpha
little
sprouts.
little pieces of floss, like bitter
Sprouts.
floss. And they're so gross, and people always want those on pitas. It's like
And
a
they're
thing.
not very clean, to be clear. You actually probably shouldn't put sprouts on your stuff because they are very difficult to clean.
I'm going to require my public school feed my children those because I think
Make
it's
sure they
more-
wash them.
All right. What do you have, Eddie?
Chandler.
Oh no. Oh no. He pre-planned a.
Of all the days for me to do a revelation,
Oh, no.
Today's the day. Every once in a while I like to bring a slice that just kind of reminds us that we are moving towards the end, and it's biblical. My kids just learned it in school, and there's two things I just want to bring up really quickly. I'm going to do a two for today, so I'm going to move through it. But some scientists out of a university that I can't find because I just got nervous that I'm pushing the envelope here. Oh, University of Roehampton. These scientists have been studying chimpanzees, and they have found that these chimpanzees are beginning to use some very complex human speech patterns. One is called Menzerth's law, and the other one is called Zipf's law of abbreviation. And this is a naturally occurring speech and language processing that really complex beings do. Pretty much only humans do this. Anyhow, they have found that chimpanzees are starting to do this, which means we are nearing the end. Chandler, play my song, please. Thank you. This is real life.
Okay, what's your real one, Eddie? Yeah.
I mean, that was real, and the chimpanzees are synthesizing language. But the other slice that I want to bring.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
have
I'm
a
gonna
twofer.
post it,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to post it for just a second. But there is a very interesting study out that another interesting from Edith Cowan University, and they were studying eye contact. Now, would you all say, or do you tell your children or whatever, that you need to make eye contact in order to like, be a good conversationalist.
My children are not permitted to make eye contact with me until 13, when
13.
they both become legal adults.
It's kind of like a bar mitzvah. You have a ceremony.
Driving in
You have a
Virginia.
ceremony at age 13 where they, at the end of the ceremony, are allowed to look you in the eye for the first time in their lives.
Yeah, exactly. And then they can see how disappointed I am at their Bible knowledge, despite exclusive courses from ages 5 to now.
Well, I will say that one of the things we were always saying to our kids when we're like walking into an event is make sure you look them in the eye and be brave. And so, they're trying to use their big girl voice.
You really say that? You say look them in the eye and be brave?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
That's very
so
sweet.
trying to help them be a little bit adult, but also they don't have to like yell and be who they don't want to be. But we're going to try to get them to answer questions and look at people in the eye. Well, this study actually showed that looking people in the eye. Now, granted, like this other study, there were only 46 participants, which I don't know is statistically significant. Feels like maybe
Close
you
enough.
get a couple hundred.
Close enough.
Had a few
But it's
zeros.
not-
And weirdly, they all have diabetes as well.
Right.
Just a weird luck
But-
of the draw.
It's out of a school I've never heard of, and it was on boingboing.net. So I'm sure that this is going to be
Oh
just
my
fine. But, basically, the study showed that there was absolutely no science behind eye contact being effective or not. So they did all these experiments, and they were looking at each other, not in the eye. People were looking away, looking at their forehead, looking at people's nose, not looking at them in the eye. Nobody reported any increase or decrease in satisfaction. And so to that end, you guys just don't need to look people in the eye anymore.
Doug,
You know what I like to do with
Doug
someone I
McGregor. Hold on. Doug McGregor says, my children can't see my eyes because of the reflection of the ring light in my glasses.
Classic McGregor.
What I like to do, especially if someone I don't really know, is I just like keep on their toes a little. So I like to look right in the middle of their forehead and watch them try to move into my eye line throughout the conversation, like bobbing and weaving like a boxer. See if they can catch it.
Oh my
Hold on,
gosh.
was that Doug McGregor?
Yeah,
McGregor?
Doug McGregor.
That's the same Doug that said that, who reminded us all that one of the first acts of the Supreme Court was printing Bibles to be put in school. So, come on, Doug. Let's just settle down with my ring light.
Brandon Smith says, I only make a direct eye contact with the cashier at Pita Pit. So just
that's more of an
And that's when I
intimidation.
scowl. That's when I scowl. And I'm leaning forward over the sneeze guard, progressively closer the longer she takes to fold that pita.
and not blinking at all.
Unblinking, jamming chocolate chip cookies into my mouth and pointing at the peppers I want. More peppers!
I dare you.
I like to get a real hard look at the ingredients too. So I lean all the way over the sneeze guard and get my face right up near them. I want to smell them. I want the whole thing. It's like a wine tasting. You're gonna swear. I need to get all up in those ingredients to know which ones I want. I want to know how fresh that tzatziki is.
all right.
This is
You know?
I love live commenting. Doug then followed up with history. So we've got him all riled up about the Supreme Court Bible, and this is live, and you can't stop me. So,
Oh, yeah, I can't stop you. You have to stop.
all
This
right,
is
I'll stop.
amazing. All right. Well, moving the show along. That'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, we talk about Christians and conspiracy theories. Well, today's Relevant Podcast Live is brought to you by Quip. One of the most important things we do for our health every day is brushing our teeth, yet most of us don't do it properly, Eddie. Quip is a better electric...
I haven't brushed my teeth since '09, and I'm fine.
Quip is a better electric toothbrush created by dentists and designers. Quip was designed to make brushing your teeth more simple, affordable, and even enjoyable. I use Quip every day. It's wonderful. It's one of the best designed. I should have it here with me to show you guys since this is video. It's one of the best designed appliances in my house. Is it an appliance? Is an electric toothbrush an appliance? What's cool about the Quip is it has sensitive sonic vibrations, gentle enough on your sensitive gums. A lot of people don't know this, but they brush too hard, and some electric toothbrushes are too abrasive. So a Quip is like more gentle and it's pulsing. It also has a built-in 2-minute timer, which pulses every 30 seconds to remind you kind of when to switch sides. And and all that. Up to 90% of us don't brush for a full 2 minutes or even clean well. Brush.
Hold on, but you're missing the best Quip thing, though.
What?
Is it sticks on the mirror.
Yeah.
So that it's like way outside of all of your like gross bathroom stuff. It
has a little thing
there.
Out of the splash.
It's great. Out of the splash zone. That's great.
They may not say that that's their best feature, but I think that that's a really cool thing that they do.
Someone thought that up, and everybody went, "Yeah, you're right. We should do it."
The cool thing about Quip is also that brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. Most of us, 3 out of 4 of us, have used bristles that are old, worn out, and ineffective, and Quip solves that. And right now, Quip is offering a special deal to Relevant Podcast listeners. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/relevant right now, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/relevant. Go check it out. All right. Well, we mentioned that the new segment that we're going to be doing every week on the Tuesday show is going to draw back from the current issue of Relevant. I happen to have the Tori Kelly issue right here with me.
Cameron, do you know what I think about the new magazine? Are you looking at me?
Yeah, I'm looking right at you.
Eye contact.
Oof. Heart. I can put an icon.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Eddie's figured out that Skype has emoji reactions. Oh,
Eddie,
no.
stuff like that got me kicked off LinkedIn. It's very unprofessional.
But one of the pieces in the issue is on conspiracy theories. In future weeks, we will have a fancy graphic showing you this, but I figure I'll do it DIY style. And look at that gorgeous design. Conspiracy theories, new issue of Relevant. And it was written by our very own Jessica Stevens. But Jesse, this is a passion project for you, and I figured you would be the one who should deliver us or tell us about this thing that's happening about young Christians getting duped into conspiracy theories more than other people. It's crazy.
Yeah, so this was a fun one to kind of help work on. It started by, I think kind of anecdotally, and this is something we talked about on the podcast. Like you saw how many people just like actually in my news feed were like toying with becoming flat earthers, and how a lot of them were actually Christians, and then kind of more.
A lot of them are actually guest podcast hosts here. Sometimes I toy with it. I just toy with it. I don't think it's true. I just toy with it.
And Cameron, one of the other anecdotes, this was actually in the story, is the individual who, this is so on the kind of the lighter end of the spectrum is something like the flat Earth, and then heavier is the guy, the young guy, the 20-something who went into Comet Pizza in D.C. armed with heavily armed and believed it to be the site of this. Human trafficking ring.
Right.
And because of conspiracies he read on the internet, he was online prior to that saying it was his faith, his Christian faith, that was motivating him to take action. So we kind of looked at some of those anecdotes, but actually found that the more religious someone is, the higher propensity they have to believe in conspiracy theories. And so we wanted to dig into why that is to a degree. Right. And especially, it's especially prevalent among young Christians. And so I got to talk to, for the piece that I was helping out with his name is Dr. Daniel Jolly, and he's a professor at Staffordshire University. And his whole field is studying the psychology of...
Wait, his last name is Jolly, for real?
Dr. Jolly. His real name, he's an English conspiracy theory professor named Dr. Jolly. That's why
perfect.
That was the other reason we had to do the piece. And he was in consideration for the cover, and it just would say Dr. Jolly. But one thing that he's noticed is that the internet has actually accelerated this because people find pockets of people who think like-minded like them. So if you're a Christian and follow other Christians online, it's going to lend itself to falling into some of these conspiracy theories. We can actually hear a clip of what he had to say.
Well, it's worth noting that conspiracies have been around for thousands of years. They're definitely not a new phenomenon. They've been, rhetoric for a very long time. But what I think has happened potentially is the internet has made them more global than ever before. People are able to talk with someone almost instantly after something happens. Let's say someone dies or there's a big event. People can actually talk and debate that instantly, which is something that could never happen before. Previously was sending letters to the newspaper or sending letters to each other. That's how people kind of talks about conspiracies. Whereas obviously today, right now, we can go on Twitter and instantly communicate with people. So there is a debate whether they've become more popular, and I sort of sit on the fence of it because I definitely agree that they're more mainstream, and in essence they're in our consciousness more than ever before, but they've always been around. So politics has always kind of been around. It's just they've been made to be more highlighted now, potentially via the ease of information.
So, like, one example of what we saw is like after, like a mass shooting or something, instantly people will start theorizing it's just like a false flag operation. And, some of the leading proponents of that, like Alex Jones, who we mentioned in the piece, it actually has a big appeal among a Christian audience and actually professes to be a Christian and says that it's anti-Christian motivations that have motivated some of these conspiracies.
Oh, I love all of this. This
Wow.
is awesome. Yeah. Did you love that conversation, Jesse?
Oh, totally.
Or you said heaven
How
the
did
whole
you
time?
keep up with
Yeah.
it? I had a hard time like keeping up with his accent. How did you like that? That's impressive.
He must be from directly to the right of us, according to flat earthers, right?
Yeah. So the other thing too is how the role that confirmation bias plays in all of this. And so, like, so here's, for example, like we talked about earlier, if you believe we are in a culture war and that one side is trying to denigrate your faith, even if you believe a little bit of that, you're more likely to believe conspiracies that play into that. So, like, there is a liberal conspiracy in Hollywood because of confirmation bias. Here's what Dr. Jolly had to say.
We obviously
I
have
love saying
many
Dr.
biases
Jolly.
in our mind that kind of try and make us understand the complex world that is our world. And obviously one of those biases is confirmation bias, where in essence you just find information that supports your viewpoint. And things that go against your viewpoint you discredit or ignore. So what people have found is that with social media, typically people just follow accounts that are similar to them. So are the same politics or kind of same viewpoint as they do. So they're only receiving messages that support their belief. And things that say discredit it or say actually no, that's not true or whatever it is, they don't follow them. They don't listen or talk to them, which is something that we're all guilty of. And even myself, I'm sure all my social media is just geared towards how I think. But that obviously leads to us being in kind of a isolated barrel where we're not necessarily questioning our beliefs or looking for alternatives. So the internet can be wide-reaching, but still you may only focus on your particular niche that speaks to your viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That is interesting.
Jolly indeed.
Yeah. So the other kind of illuminating thing, I know we need to move on, and people can read the whole thing in the magazine or on the website right now. But if you look at some of the insidious origins of a lot of these conspiracy theories, date back to things that were anti-Semitic propaganda. About elitist one world governments controlling banking systems and the entertainment industry. And, a lot of them have their origins in, like I said, anti-Semitic propaganda. And that's why, people need to be really careful about the things they entertain, because you're only a couple steps away from believing some really horrible stuff. But anyway, the whole piece is
Buzzkill, Jess.
Yeah, seriously, that was the worst segue ever. Really horrible stuff. So anyways, hey.
I'm
I'd love
just
to know what
saying.
we'll get Dr. Jolly over here.
The earth is round, okay, Jesse?
I'll say this. Dr. Jolly has a very ironic name because it's a very heavy topic. He should have been like the professor of juggling or something, like he's a British guy with an awesome accent, and his name's Dr. Jolly, and he could have been a doctor of anything, but it's conspiracy theories. But anyway, so you can read the rest.
Go check it out. You can, like Jesse mentioned, you can view the entire issue of Relevant online at relevantmagazine.com. You also can pick it up at newsstands nationwide. The new issue is about to release, so if you find the Tori Kelly issue still in stock, clear it out for us. Make some room for the next one.
We saw there's another great, well, I know we're out of time, but there was a great article in it about the history of genocide with Professor Snuggles. So really enjoy that.
That was good.
I'm out.
All right.
I'm good.
All right,
Good.
go check it out. Stay tuned. All right.
This episode of the Relevant Podcast is brought to you by Lipscomb University. At Lipscomb University, Their online programs are shaped by a commitment to creating a better future. And with multiple undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs to choose from, you can define what that future looks like. Plus, you earn the same academically rigorous degree you'd get on their campus, with the flexibility to fit your life. Listen, at Relevant, we believe in you, the listener. We know you're ready to lead. So you can pursue your goals and a better world at Lipscomb Online. Visit lipscomb.edu/online to learn more. That's lipscomb.edu/online.
All right. Well, normally right here on the live Tuesday show, we would have a game or our listener of the week, and we had planned not one but two listeners of the week this week. But because of some technical issues, we got started a little late. But we have a hard out. We got to wrap the show up, so we are going to bump it to next Tuesday. We're very sorry to Matt Damon, who was waiting on the line. To join us as our listener of the week this week, but we're gonna have to bump it. He was. He really was. Big fan.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
He's a big fan of Dr. Jolly's work. Same week, so.
He'll be playing Dr. Jolly in an upcoming film that we are producing. I'm announcing it here.
Well, so make sure to tune in next Tuesday for the live podcast. We're going to be broadcasting from now on at 10:30 Eastern time every Tuesday morning. The live feed will go from 10:30 to about noon. Or up to noon on the live show, and we will make up the listener participation segment to you next week. Trust us, we have some ideas. But yeah, and then too, remember next week I mentioned that the live stream will be on multiple platforms, and we'll be able to see all the interactions and comments coming from all the different sources. So we will be tweeting out links to all the different places that you can follow along. It'll be on YouTube, Instagram TV, Periscope. Facebook.
My children's schools. My children's school will be there.
It'll be there.
All kids will have to watch it.
Have to.
A required elective to watch her live.
Required.
I actually saw quite a few.
Supreme Court.
I saw a few people going. Kiki Gibb just did a frowny face on the comment because she was one of the ones that was.
She was on the 10-year show. She's been. She has been on this show more than Annie. She's fine.
She's a good sport. She
is a good sport. But it was funny. I was speaking of school. I was watching people going, I got to go to class. Should I stay or should I go? It was like, just skip it.
You made the right decision.
Yeah, for sure. Stick with us and Dr. Jolly.
Hey, many thanks to Quip for sponsoring the episode. Remember, Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/relevant right now, you get your first refill pack for free with your Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/relevant. I should spell relevant, RELEVANT, for those of you who don't know. There you go.
I feel like that's natural selection, though. I mean, if they can't spell that,
if they can't do that, they don't deserve to brush their teeth.
Go ahead and just
Let's
use
go.
the
Keep
bold,
it rolling, Cameron. Keep it rolling.
Thanks also to Dr. Dan Jolly for joining us. Check out more of our conversation with him and other experts about conspiracy theories and Christianity and the current issue of Relevant. You can view it online at relevantmagazine.com, or you can pick it up at the Relevant store if you want to buy the issue as well. You can go to store.relevantmagazine.com. Hey, if you want to see Relevant in your community, we want to hear from you. We actually offer special partner distribution and would love to partner with you. We can have it sent to your college, your young adult service, or any place where relevant people are gathering. We can help you get the magazine there. Go to relevantmagazine.com/podpartner. And we can chat about getting some complimentary copies to your event or your
wherever
nonprofit.
2 or more are gathered, you are able to sign up for that.
So relevantmagazine.com/podpartner. Also, we're doing a Relevant Podcast fan subscription sale for fans only. You can get your first 6 months of the magazine for only $6 by going to relevantmagazine.com/podfan. Also, big news, if you haven't checked it out, today, this morning, we debuted Relevant Daily, our new daily 10-minute video show and audio podcast every morning, where we're going to be bringing you the latest news happening at the intersection of faith and culture every day. You should tune in. Go over to Facebook, Relevant's Facebook page right now. You can watch the debut episode, or you can find it at relevantmagazine.com as well. So where you get your audio podcast, just search for Relevant Daily, and you can subscribe and you watch the video every morning. You can just be laying in bed, watching Jesse telling you all the stuff you need to know for the day. It's really great.
You're great at it too,
Wow,
Jesse. You're really good at it.
Really
Thank
good.
you. Thank
Premieres
you for the affirmation.
premiered today.
Interesting sell.
Big. Yeah. There you go. All right.
there.
On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
And I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you on Friday. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Ooh, a peace sign from Jesse. Okay.